that John Eric Hexum accidentally wounded himself in the head.
Lights, camera, action. But what happens when the scene turns deadly?
Killing actor Vic Morrow and 2 young children in the scene.
Filming a movie or TV show is supposed to be a carefully controlled environment, but sometimes tragedy strikes when we least expect it.
27-year-old Brandon Lee was killed during a movie set accident today.
Welcome to today's video where we are uncovering the tragic stories of actors who suddenly died on set.
Reaction. Killing actor Vic Morrow and 2 young children in the scene.
It was supposed to be a gripping scene, a daring rescue in the midst of a Vietnam War battle. But on July 23, 1982, the set of Twilight Zone, the movie became the site of one of Hollywood's worst tragedies. Vic Morrow, a seasoned actor known for combat, was filming a climactic sequence where his character, carrying 2 Vietnamese children, wades through a river while a helicopter hovers overhead. Special effects explosions ignited below the aircraft caused its rotor blades to fail, sending it crashing down. In a horrific instant, the helicopter struck Morrow and the 2 child actors, Micah Din Lee, 7, and Renee Shin Yi Chen, 6, killing all 3. Eerily, Morrow had reportedly expressed fears about dying in a helicopter crash, even taking out a life insurance policy just before filming. His final words on set were chillingly prophetic. "I gotta be crazy to do this. I should have asked for a stunt double." The aftermath rocked Hollywood. Director John Landis and 4 others faced manslaughter charges but were ultimately acquitted. Our next story is about legendary British comedian Tommy Cooper, whose final performance ended not with applause, but with an unexpected, heart-stopping twist. Final laugh that became tragedy. That's exactly what happened on April 15, 1984, when legendary comedian Tommy Cooper collapsed during a live television performance on the London weekend television show, Live from Her Majesty's. That night he was mid-act when he suddenly stumbled, clutching his chest. The audience roared with laughter, assuming it was part of his act. Tragically, it wasn't. Tommy was experiencing a massive heart attack. His last words, delivered just moments before he collapsed, were laced with his usual wit. "Thank you very much. Lovely." Despite efforts to save him, Tommy passed away behind the curtain, just feet from the audience that adored him. It was an end so poetic and tragic, but not all on-set accidents take place in the spotlight. Next, we'll uncover the chilling story of Eric Fleming, whose on-set tragedy took place in an untamed wilderness. Have you ever wondered how far an actor would go for the perfect shot? For Eric Fleming, star of the iconic series Rawhide, that dedication cost him everything. On September 28, 1966, while filming the adventure movie I, Jungle in Peru, Eric faced a scene that would seal his fate. He and his co-star were shooting a rafting sequence on the turbulent Wallaga River. The current was swift and dangerous, but Eric, ever the professional, insisted on performing the stunt himself. What went wrong? A sudden surge of water overturned their raft, tossing Eric into the rapids. Despite his strength and swimming ability, he couldn't overcome the river's power. Tragically, Eric was swept away, and his body wasn't recovered until days later. He was a man who lived and ultimately died by the grit and risks his roles demanded. Up next, we'll explore the haunting story of John Eric Hexum, whose final moments reveal a shocking accident no one could have predicted. You won't want to miss this one.
Picture and television star John Eric Hexum is in critical condition tonight, a victim of a freak accident.
What if one careless moment could end it all? For John Eric Hexum, a rising star in the 1980s, a tragic lapse in judgment during a playful moment on set cost him his life. On October 12, 1984, John Eric was filming the CBS series Cover Up. The day was dragging and delays on set left him bored. To lighten the mood, he picked up a prop, .44 Magnum loaded with blank rounds. With a wry smile, John Eric joked, "Let's see if I've got a headache," and pressed the gun to his temple before pulling the trigger. Blanks are supposed to be safe, but the explosion still generates enough force to be dangerous. In this case, the blank round's wadding was propelled with such velocity that it fractured John Eric's skull and caused severe brain trauma. He was rushed to the hospital, but the damage was irreversible. 6 days later, at just 26 years old, he was declared brain dead. John Eric's death was a shocking and heartbreaking reminder of how even fake weapons can be deadly when mishandled. Next, we'll delve into the mysterious and haunting on-set death of Brandon Lee, whose fate eerily mirrors the tragic events we just explored. Stay with us, this story only gets darker.
Died. 27-year-old Brandon Lee was killed during a movie set accident today.
Under the harsh lights of a movie set, Brandon Lee's promising future came to a devastating end. On March 31, 1993, during the filming of The Crow, a movie destined to catapult him to stardom, a tragic accident turned a simple scene into a fatal moment. The sequence called for Brandon's character to be shot by a revolver loaded with blanks. Unbeknownst to the crew, the revolver's barrel had a deadly secret. A fragment of a dummy round from a previous scene was lodged inside. When the blank was fired, the force expelled the fragment like a live bullet, striking Brandon in the abdomen. Brandon collapsed, and at first everyone believed it was part of the performance. It wasn't. Rushed to the hospital, doctors worked tirelessly for 6 hours, but the damage was too severe. At just 28 years old, Brandon was gone, leaving behind an unfinished legacy and a haunting question of what could have been. Our next story is about the sudden and unexpected death of Adolph Caesar, a seasoned actor whose final moments left everyone stunned. Adolph Caesar, known for his commanding presence and Oscar-nominated role in A Soldier's Story, met a sudden and tragic end while doing what he loved. On March 6, 1986, Caesar was on the set of Tough Guys, a crime comedy starring Hollywood legends Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas. The day was routine, until it wasn't. During a break between scenes, Caesar began experiencing severe chest pain. Crew members quickly realized something was wrong and called for help. Despite the urgency, Adolph's condition worsened rapidly and he collapsed on set. Paramedics arrived and rushed him to the hospital, but the 52-year-old actor was pronounced dead upon arrival. The cause? A sudden and massive heart attack. But while Caesar's passing was a result of his health, our next story unfolds in the wild. It's the shocking and untimely death of Steve Irwin, the beloved crocodile hunter.
Their famed crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin, has died.
Steve Irwin was a man who seemed invincible, tackling some of the world's deadliest creatures with an infectious energy that captivated millions. But on September 4, 2006, his fearless pursuit brought a tragic end to his extraordinary life. While filming Ocean's Deadliest in the Great Barrier Reef, Irwin was snorkeling in shallow waters, working with a giant stingray. However, as Irwin approached it from above, the stingray became defensive, striking him more than 100 times with its barb. One blow pierced his heart, causing fatal injuries. His last words, spoken to his crew, were reported to be, "I'm dying." Despite desperate attempts to save him, Steve passed away before reaching the hospital. Our next story takes us back to Hollywood's golden age, where Tyrone Power's pursuit of cinematic excellence led to an unexpected and devastating end. Tyrone Power, one of Hollywood's most dashing leading men, captivating audiences with his charm and intensity. But on November 15, 1958, while filming the epic Solomon and Sheba in Madrid, his career and his life came to a sudden, tragic end. Power was in the midst of a grueling sword-fighting scene with actor George Sanders. As the cameras rolled, Power began to show signs of distress. He pushed through the take, but soon after collapsed, clutching his chest. His last words, spoken as he struggled to breathe, were reportedly, "I'm okay, I'll be fine." Tragically, he wasn't. He was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. Tyrone Power, just 44 years old, had suffered a fatal heart attack. His sudden death shocked the film industry, cutting short a career that had already spanned 2 decades. The role of Solomon was ultimately completed by actor Yul Brynner. Next, we'll uncover the mysterious and harrowing death of Martha Mansfield, an actress whose life ended in a shocking on-set accident. Don't miss this chilling tale from the silent film era. Martha Mansfield, a rising star of the silent film era, met a tragic end on November 30th, 1923. The young actress, just 24 years old, was on location performing in a Civil War drama. Dressed in an elaborate period costume made of highly flammable material, Martha took a break in her car between takes. What happened next was a nightmare. A lit match or cigarette ignited her dress, turning it into a deadly inferno. Panicked, Martha jumped from the car, engulfed in flames. Despite the heroic efforts of her co-star Wilfrid Littell, who smothered the fire with his coat, the damage was devastating. She suffered severe burns over most of her body. She passed away the following day. While Martha's death came in a flash of fire, other actors have faced equally sudden ends in completely different ways. We'll explore the final moments of John Ritter, whose sudden passing on left fans and colleagues in shock.
On the sudden and unexpected death last night of television actor John Ritter at the age of 54.
John Ritter, beloved for his comedic charm in Three's Company and heartfelt performances in dramas like Sling Blade, passed away suddenly while doing what he loved most, performing. On September 11, 2003, Ritter was on the set of 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. What began as a routine day took a shocking turn when Ritter complained of chest pain and nausea. Initially misdiagnosed as a heart attack, his symptoms were later revealed to be caused by a tear in the large blood vessel from the heart. He was rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery. Tragically, despite efforts to save him, Ritter passed away just hours later at the age of 54. John Ritter's passing was a painful reminder of how unpredictable life can be, even in the safest of settings. While his loss remains profound, his work continues to bring laughter and joy to countless fans. These stories remind us that even in the world of make-believe, Real-life risks can have devastating consequences. The actors who lost their lives on set leave behind legacies of talent, dedication, and passion for their craft. Which of these stories surprised or moved you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold stories from Hollywood's shadowed corners. Thank you for watching, and remember, every performance we enjoy has a story behind it, often more complex than we realize. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.